Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. JDF Coast Guard defends actions after poultry container incident. KCMC prepares for Carnival 2025 with strict regulations outlined. And later in sports, Arnett Gardens women's head coach resigns after 6 years in charge. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. The Jamaica Defence Force Coast Guard says all protocols were followed after learning a container en route to the Cayman Islands had fallen off a ship. Lieutenant Commander Miguel Ferguson made the assertion in an interview on Smile Jamaica this morning. More in this report. A container carrying poultry branded under the Brazilian label Perdix en route to the Cayman Islands washed ashore in Jamaica on Thursday, April 3. Lieutenant Commander Miguel Ferguson of the Jamaica Defence Force Coast Guard revealed that the authorities had been notified nearly a week earlier that the container had fallen overboard in Jamaican waters.
We would naturally, in this instance, activated our mechanism, responded to doing a couple things. Firstly, ensuring that shipping in the area is aware that the container fell overboard to ensure for maritime safety so that no collision occurs at sea. And then we move to deploying our assets to identify, locate, and track the movement of the container so that we can collaborate with other agencies who have direct responsibility to treat even the other aspect of the protocols. So all of that was done on our part once we were alerted to the container falling overboard.
He stated that as soon as the alert was received, the necessary steps were promptly taken by the relevant authorities.
In this instance, as we were doing our response mechanism, as it's unfortunate that the response of the public outpaced the relevant agency to
which is my
respond
question, sir.
to
Why?
secure.
But why? That's my question.
It may be due to access limitations. Terrain limitation is accessing the area as quickly as possible, and as such, the response mechanism on the part of respective agencies to secure the shoreline and also the container may have been limited at that. But once they got on scene, I'm aware that they naturally went on to securing the area and containing the situation.
The Lieutenant Commander noted that while it's not uncommon for containers to fall off ships, such incidents are rare in Jamaican waters. He emphasized that retrieving lost cargo is not part of the JDF Coast Guard standard mandate. Additionally, he explained that there was little the team could have done to recover the container at sea before it eventually drifted to shore.
Once the container fell overboard, there is no immediate mechanism to pull the container back up on a ship, because that would take heavy lifting equipment and crane, somebody to secure a container and try to pull the container to water, which in itself is a dangerous activity, especially under the weather condition that we had over the last weekend.
Do you have the same role as the Marine Police, the JCF? Do you have the same role?
The Marine Police mostly focus on matters within our inland spaces and within the territorial water, within a 12 nautical mile. Our main focus is based on our maritime law enforcement responsibilities. We do narcotics interdiction and treat with matters more further offshore.
The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation has outlined strict regulations and preparation guidelines for Carnival 2025. The events are set to get underway in the coming weeks, and according to Kingston Mayor, all rules must be adhered to. Nakinski Robinson reports.
Jamaica Carnival 2025 will run from April 23 to 29, promising a vibrant week of music, culture, and celebration. The highlight, the Road March, is set for Sunday, April 27, attracting thousands of revelers locally and from abroad. KCMC Chairman Andrew Swaby says preparations are well underway, with discussions focused on approvals and solid waste management to ensure a clean, safe and successful carnival season.
The KCMC, in partnership with the Carnival Secretariat, have held 2 interagency meetings with Carnival Jamaica stakeholders. Discussions focus on the necessary approval for road marches and Juve events, including solid waste management arrangement. It was also agreed that the Juve promoters must engage water trucks to wash away paint as the parade progresses.
The KSMC has confirmed receipt of all band route proposals from Exodus, Yadmas and Gen X Carnival bands.
These applications are currently under review by the City Engineer Officer, Disaster Management Unit, and the Revenue Team to ensure compliance. The KSMC Public Relations Unit, along with the review team, have produced a flyer and video to guide promoters of watch parties.
In 2024, concerns were raised about delayed garbage collection after the road march, especially in areas like New Kingston and Hope Road. Mayor Andrew Swaby has since issued a strong warning to watch party and soca event promoters.
All watch party and soca party promoters that they must apply for their amusement license by April 11th, 2025 and provide the necessary requirements including insurance and fire certificates. Site layout, the KSA Health Department no objection letter if food is being served. Additionally, proper arrangement must be in place for waste disposal as they run the risk of their permit not being approved.
Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says discussions are currently taking place between the governments of India and Jamaica. This is to finalize a memorandum of understanding. Dr. Tufton says the MOU will address various health-related matters like access to medication.
India, of course, is the largest supplier of pharmaceuticals to Jamaica, certainly within the NHF, but also very importantly around human resource development and the collaboration around training, both training our healthcare workers in specialized areas or nurses in particular. We lose a lot to other markets and we're trying to expand, but we're short on faculty and clinical rotation space. It would mean health workers coming here to do clinical rotation and also training of trainers.
Dr. Tufton says this is part of proactive measures aimed at addressing disruptions in the health sector.
Would also mean where we have immediate gaps, accessing from rotation of workers here in India, Indian health workers, taking up some of the position on a temporary basis while we expand our own local people through those posts. So, excellent discussion. Happy to be here, and thanks to the team for being possible.
The National Solid Waste Management Authority says it's advancing its operations to ensure waste collection is efficient, with a focus on equipping its fleet with cutting-edge technologies. The organization is also prioritizing staff welfare. Karen Simpson reports.
The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, is currently reviewing its operations, formulating strategies to enhance service delivery. Executive Director Audley Gordon says a big part of the agency's strategy is to enhance operation with advanced technology in the waste collection fleet.
Not only do we have a modern fleet, but we have been training staff, we have been upskilling. We even get some cussing because we ask the sweepers, we encourage the sweepers, we motivating the sweepers, say, notwithstanding your standing in society, go and do a little something on an evening time instead of idling. Fix up yourself because opportunities are coming and we're going to need a trained workforce to take advantage of these opportunities.
Mr. Gordon also stressed that the focus is not only on waste collection, but also on the welfare of staff, an area that has not received enough attention. He highlighted the importance of ongoing improvements to the workspace. Additionally, he revealed that upgrades are currently being implemented at NSWMA facilities island-wide.
It's one thing to task you and give you deadlines and hold you to the mandate and have the whip over you to get you going and to make sure that we meet our targets. But under what condition? Under what condition? And we believe that we started in MPM, We relocate them from Hagley Park Road to Spanish Town Road in a much better place. We have now moved WPM from Freeport in that little cubicle on the plaza to a proper office location.
While acknowledging that salaries are still not where the company would like to be, Mr. Gordon noted that there have been improvements. At the same time, several staff positions have been made permanent.
Oh, we have to fix this thing. I don't like the contract work. People can't plan. No bank will take you seriously. When you go to do business, you want to credit a little car. You can't. Nobody talking to you because they're not sure if you're going or coming. And when I go into the board, we got the acceptance, the agreement, and we move to the Ministry of Local Government, where Minister Mackenzie said, yes, we should pursue. And we went and we go straight to the Ministry of Finance.
Carrie Simpson, TVJ News.
The Manchester Police have launched a new initiative aimed at expanding and revitalizing neighborhood watches throughout the parish. This initiative focuses on engaging younger people in the parish.
At the recent launch of the Fairbanks Neighbourhood Watch, Sergeant Hoyts Michael, coordinator of the Manchester Neighbourhood Watch, emphasized the importance of building capacity within both the police force and the local community to sustain the program.
And although some have become dormant, efforts are underway to revive them. Led by Inspector Lloyd, Acting Territorial Officer of the Manchester Community Safety and Security Team, and Ms. Verna Manning, President of the Manchester Neighbourhood Watch Council, the team is committed to reactivating and relaunching dormant watches, ensuring a safer and more secure environment for all residents.
He stressed that all stakeholders must collaborate to maintain a safer, more secure environment.
As we continue to expand the Neighbourhood Watch movement, we recognize that sustainability is just as crucial as growth. Our review of the movement has highlighted the need for effective leadership from both citizens and police to ensure its long-term success.
Currently, 16 out of 40 neighborhood watches are active, with plans to reactivate another 6 by the end of the year. This drive aims to strengthen community engagement and enhance public safety across the parish.
To address this, we will prioritize capacity building for both groups. Additionally, we aim to revitalize the movement by attracting younger participants, and I'm happy to see my Bishop Gibson Police Youth Club students here. Shifting the perception that it is predominantly a senior citizens program.
Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. In Trelawny, the police have launched a homework club in Wakefield. This is part of efforts to support the academic and personal growth of children in the community. Assistant Commissioner of Police Glenford Miller is urging parents to remain committed to their children's success.
This is not look a business, you know. It's a big something as to tell Mr. Milton. A big something this. And we are launching now. We are launching a big something in our little way. And I saw this for launch. This is a big thing where these same children can become the prime ministers of tomorrow if we nurture them the right way.
ACP Miller says the club is an example of what can happen when a community comes together to uplift young people.
Children are our future, and if we don't treat them as our future, if we not curb the children them from now, the police have a problem later on, then you as community members and parents and families have a bigger problem because they might get headache and we are called the police. And you could have sent them to the police from day one, for the police help to groom them in the right path.
The club, which started with 1 child, now has 25 students. It's now time for the Business Minute.
Labour and Social Security Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says 16,500 Jamaicans have benefited from the American H-2A and H-2B farm work programs. He also stressed that Jamaica has significantly enhanced and tightened the orientation process related to the programs in order to prevent unfortunate and embarrassing occurrences. Further afield, investors cheered Wednesday when President Donald Trump paused most of his new tariffs. But the biggest bank in the U.S. says that will be short-lived. JP Morgan Chase issued a new report Wednesday night, and it's sticking to its forecast that there's a 60% chance the country is heading into a recession. The bank's economists say the 10% universal tariffs still in place are still a large shock. The massive 125% tariff on China is also a problem. The tariff pause will last for 3 months. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Carrie Ann Simpson.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, President of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abineda, has declared 3 days of national mourning in the wake of the rooftop collapse tragedy at a nightclub in Santo Domingo. Over 100 persons have been declared dead, while dozens remain unidentified as families continue to search for loved ones. The Jet Set nightclub was hosting its 50th anniversary when the roof gave way, claiming the lives of celebrities, former athletes, and a local governor. On the international scene, the Department of Homeland Security will begin screening immigrant social media for anti-Semitic content as a part of visa and immigration process. U.S. officials say anti-Semitism will now be considered a negative factor when deciding immigration status or visa approval. This follows a directive for U.S. embassies to review student visa applicants for ties to terrorist groups. The move comes amid border efforts by the Trump administration to crack down on these issues, including threats to cut funding to colleges that fail to address it. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Antonia Atkinson.
We take another break. Sports is next.